In KKP, we talk about not just video games, but also some anime stuff here and there, animation work stuff, the awards they win, and so forth. But right now, let's just talk about some stuff that's been happening the past few days, especially during the past weekend, where there were some really big developments on PlayStation and Xbox's side. We'll start off with some of the bad stuff, and hopefully we'll get to the good stuff going forward. So yeah, Blue Point Games has been shut down by PlayStation because they did not do the game that they were asked to do, even though they don't have any expertise to it. So Blue Point Games, they're known for the Demon's Soul remake, Shadow of the Colossus, that remake, which is really good. I wish I actually touched that. I only played the PS3 version, the PS2 Shadow of the Colossus, not this PS4 remake. And a bunch of other remakes and remasters that they're really clearly good at. And what Sony did was actually ask them to do a live service game, the God of War multiplayer live service game, which they cancelled. And because it seems like they have nothing else to do. I mean, despite the fact that Blue Point Games are talented for a particular skill set, which would actually benefit PlayStation and your back catalog, PlayStation Studios, Sony had the bright idea of basically shit canning them. So that really sucks, and it's really bad decision on PlayStation's part. That's all I can say. It's like when you do a lot of live service games and a couple of them fail, with Marathon probably being another one that's not gonna win. That is not going to bring you the numbers you want. In fact, this is the Bungie of like the future, where this is not the same Bungie that created all 4 Halo games. Five Halo games. I'm counting ODST as the 4th game. And this is not the same Bungie that did the Halo games and Destiny 1 and all the expansions that were under Destiny 1. This is a completely different Bungie taking an IP from back then, which is a single player game, by the way. A single player game. Marathon was a single player game back in the day on the Mac. It was supposed to be the Doom killer. And now they're turning it into an extraction shooter, which, again, that field is dominated, that PvP, online PvE, PvE circuit that's dominated by Arc Raiders and to an extent Apex Legends. And would Division be considered an extraction shooter? I guess it is. That's still ongoing. Your PvEs, your PvPs, Rainbow Six Siege, Overwatch, which actually went through a rebranding. Yeah, those are actually there. PUBG Mobile, for Christ's sake, on the mobile phones. Those games have taken over that sphere. For Marathon to actually take like 10% of that market share, that player base share, let alone 20% or 30%, it's going to be a fucking miracle, honestly. This live service plan is not working out, honestly. It's like, you've got Concord dead. You've got a couple of studios on PlayStation all dead. Your upcoming Horizon game, I don't know who you're targeting that for. Marathon, I don't know who you're targeting that for. Your only good live service game is Helldivers 2, and you just gotta keep that alive as long as you can. If you're looking for another second or third coming, you need a miracle, honestly. It's insane that PlayStation is going through this route. Like, not Jim Ryan's side, but also Herman House, who is continuing this crazy vision of insanity of making this Jim Ryan's old plan work, and then canceling shit. And then not releasing fair games or fair point, whatever, the fair money sign game, cancelling the God of War game. That Spider-Man game, assuming that's true, that Spider-Man game would have been a really good live service title per se. Like, had that free to play, had the same mechanics as Spider-Man 1 and 2, but multiplayer and free to play, and you can just pay money for all the Spider-Man costumes and whatnot. It's just printing money there. People like those Spider-Man games, and imagine that as a multiplayer title. That would have been really fun. Hell, that Last of Us multiplayer game shouldn't have been cancelled. That actually had got a bit of fair play back in the PS3 days when the first Last of Us came out. I think it was called Factions. That worked out really well. Why couldn't you do that? Honestly, these decisions, along with this whole Blue Point Games firing when they could have been assigned to do a bunch of remasters that could have been needed on PlayStation's side, especially from people who wanted these kind of games. Like, they want to see the PS2 back catalog coming back and playable on the PS5. It's just insane. Like, I really hope Bluepoint Games, the people under that group who dispersed and are already like laid off and everything, I hope they found jobs. I hope they actually get reintegrated back into PlayStation or Santa Monica, because this is not fair. This is not fair to them. Not fair at all. Now, on the Xbox side of things, don't know if you heard, but Phil Spencer and Sarah Bond, they are leaving the company effective Monday, which is this week basically. So Phil Spencer is resigning, Sarah Bond is resigning. Phil Spencer's retiring from being the head of Xbox, the CEO. The person who will be taking over Phil Spencer's job, that will be leading Xbox and Microsoft Gaming, will be Asha Sharma, who is formerly the head of Microsoft's AI division, who promises more great games made by humans and also trying to reintegrate herself into the Twitter gaming space per se by, playing games from the start of a job. The thing is, you just need to be a good leader. You need to be a good leader who listens to ideas from other people who have been in the gaming business for a while. Matt Booty is also promoted as Chief Content Officer. He will be under Asha Sharma in the whole job scope and everything. So Asha is the top dog. She is the top leader of Microsoft Gaming, with Matt Booty just behind. Now, I'm not saying that Matt Booty has the best of ideas per se, especially with the reputation he has, but any kind of leadership change is better than the one Phil Spencer and Sarah Bond had at the time. Yes, they were good at talking to people who listen, like your Xbox fanboys or the Xbox community folks and whatnot, but that's all they're good at, because they do talk a lot. And I think that was a tweet I saw, is probably Last Stand Media, Colin Moriarty, who mentioned this, like, Xbox is known and very famous for getting PR people who don't know when to shut the fuck up. And those are the kind of people who promise to talk big and don't deliver as much as possible. And that worked out. That didn't really work out for Xbox's favor now, did it? Yes. Phil Spencer may be the people's person in the public eye perception, all that, with defendants and whatnot. But when it's all said and done, they're not delivering what they should be. In fact, cancelling more games than they should, and having games come out too little to petted fanfare. Yes, Forza Horizon 5 was good, but that's probably the only game in the top of my head that actually stood out. Halo Infinite was fine when it came out, and then they Project 343 Industries didn't really capitalize on that, making it as big as it should. Like, you're given something on the silver platter and you blew it up, and it just failed. Starfield didn't deliver as expected, despite the fact that one of my writers gave it a 10 out of 10. To each your own, of course. Outer Worlds 2, I love that game a lot, but I don't think people actually bought copies of that. And Xbox Game Pass, while successful in some merits in terms of making people play games for free, paying for a subscription service, and then cancelling it later after getting their jollies filled, isn't getting like the best traction needed. That's why Xbox is going multi-platform. That's why Xbox games are on PlayStation. PlayStation is an Xbox, all those jokes here and there. But the reality is, the buyout that Xbox did for Activision, they paid a lot for that. 3 billion, 30 billion? Yeah, there's a lot of money. They have to recoup costs, and then now eyes are on them from shareholders' standpoint. So will Asha Sharma fix those problems? Well, not instantaneously. These things will take time. Maybe about, let's say about 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe about 3 years or so, and then we'll see what happens from there. But I would say the damage has already been done from previous management. Now it's really up to new management to fix things, or because staying in this course, staying at this path is not the best way to go. You may say a lot of things about catering to gamers and making the games they want and whatnot, but business is business in the end, and if you don't fix the problems that were already not fixed back then, you're gonna have the same old problems sticking around in the long run, so you're gonna have to fix that. I don't care if you platinum Elden Ring or not, or get like a full score achievement for hardcore Souls-like titles, Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3. I don't care about that. I only care about you being a good CEO, listening to the people who can make changes, and then letting them do the things they want. Make games, make exclusives. Maybe not make a new console. I think the Xbox Series you have already is already good enough. Just make that matter again. Like, make exclusives matter, because at the end of the day, it's neither PlayStation nor Xbox who are determining who the winner is. Nintendo already won, goddammit. Have you seen all the exclusives they have? And that's on their that's on the new Switch 2 console, which only has what, like a couple of exclusives? There's more in the pipeline, dude, and if you are not gonna fix that problem in making Xbox relevant, it's just another Phil Spencer waiting to happen, unfortunately.